It didn't go that late. And that was 2 days ago.
All right, so you're back. You're back and ready to go. All right, let's talk a little movies because we're short on time here. The Girl on the Long Island Railroad. What do we think of this one?
She was actually on Metro North. She's a Westchester girl, not a Long Island girl.
Okay, good. All right.
What
happens?
She's also a somewhat seemingly psychotic stalker as well. I guess she belongs in Westchester. I don't know.
Is it one of those, it's not what it is, what you seem kind of movie? Not what it appears to be? Is it one of those that it doesn't appear what you see it to be kind of movies?
It kind of is. You know, it's a psychological thriller. This was a popular book that people have had mixed reactions to. Some people really love it. Some people find it really weird. You know, I did not read the book, but I've spoken to a lot of people who have. And this is, it sort of doesn't make sense. You have to suspend your disbelief in this movie, sort of the same way you would suspend your disbelief when watching Star Wars and just accept that the Force exists. Because this woman, Rachel, who Emily Blunt plays, stalks her ex-husband and his wife in such a way that would never, ever, ever happen. And in the movie, Tom, played by Justin Theroux, defends his ex-wife to his current wife, saying, you know, she's just a sad person and she's harmless. But that's not what they showed us in the movie, and it was really, really perplexing and frustrating. Not perplexing and frustrating is Emily Blunt's performance, which is absolutely brilliant and worth the price of admission. Now, there is a twist in this movie. Some people find it surprising. That's supposed to be one of the reasons why it's so good. I saw it coming a mile away. So it wasn't that much of a twist for me. Again, for me, this entire movie is really so much about Emily Blunt's performance. And, you know, at some points, this movie feels like one of those Calvin Klein obsession movies. It really does. And that was a little bothersome, too. But I cannot stress this enough. Emily Blunt is brilliant. And, again, worth the price of admission alone. Huge points for her. This is a sort of a career-changing movie in the sense that we already knew she was talented. We knew she was funny. We knew she could hold her own in an action movie. But this is a really meaty, dramatic role. And she is going to shoot to the top of every casting director's list now when they have that type of role. When they need to fill that type of role, I think Emily Blunt becomes like a top 3 or 4 actress in Hollywood when it comes to drama, and you know could very well see herself with an Oscar nomination one day for a role like that, and maybe even possibly for this one, depending on how the year shakes out. So 3.5 out of 5 stars.
All right, good. That's Girl on a Train, and then the other one that's getting a lot of attention is this one called Birth of a Nation. Controversial, explosive. What do you think of this one?
Well, it's controversial. It's controversial because of Nate Parker, the guy who directed it, who wrote it, directed, and stars in it. This is a movie that got a tremendous amount of buzz coming out of the Sundance Film Festival, the type of buzz that Oscar-nominated movies get. That's certainly what it felt like, you know, in my years of experience. I wasn't at Sundance. I didn't see it, but I will tell you, after having seen it, if I walked out of that movie, I would have been like, "It's not going to get nominated for Oscars. It's a great first effort by Nate Parker as a writer, director, and producer." But the controversy stems from these rape allegations against Nate Parker. It turns out a couple of months ago it was uncovered. It wasn't something that he was certainly advertising, that he and his roommate in college at Penn State were accused of rape. Now, it's really important to note also that Nate was acquitted. His roommate was not. But the story gets worse because the young woman committed suicide years later, and the family swears up and down that there was a direct correlation to the incident in question. And again, Nate Parker was acquitted. He says that he's also a deeply religious person, and he says that he does not feel guilty. He feels bad that she committed suicide, but he doesn't feel guilty in the sense that he was accused of something that he didn't do. and he knows he didn't do it, and that's that. Now, it's up to you to go read the details of the case, and you can make that decision on your own. A court found him not guilty, and, I think that's important information. Now, having said that, he made a good movie. It's not a great movie. It's a good movie. It's an important story. It's based on a slave named Nat Turner, who, as a young boy, taught himself to read. The matriarch of the particular plantation that he was on recognized that he could read. She took him in, taught him to read, but would only teach him how to read the Bible because, quote unquote, his kind wouldn't understand all those other books. But the Bible, in so many ways, was a revelation for him. I mean, not only did he read, he grew up to be a preacher, but he knew the Bible backwards and forwards. And in the South, slave owners, plantation owners, would use the Bible and cite the Bible to support slavery, which obviously was ridiculous. And, he became privy to that and started using the words in the Bible against him and felt that God was speaking through him to lead a revolt. The movie's very heavy-handed at times, and I think that may be a lack of inexperience, and he doesn't do a great job of building tension. What he does do, he gets terrific performances out of all of his actors. I mean, Armie Hammer, who's a tall, good-looking guy, is unrecognizable in this movie. He plays an alcoholic plantation owner. Jackie Earle Haley, who's actually very good at playing creepy, is extra creepy as a slave enforcer. And I thought Nate was also terrific as well. So not perfect, but 3.5 out of 5 stars.
All right, David Blaustein. Have a good weekend, David. We'll talk to you next week.
You too. Take care. Bye.
All right, some news coming in the hurricane